Hey everybody, welcome back. Beyond Local, episode 47, segment called Get to Know LSEO. Now, normally you see me on the other side of the table here, but today, instead, we decided to flip roles, and I guess, as you said, I'm the bride, I guess, this week.
Yes.
So, with me, I get the pleasure to introduce to you Jeff Maverick Kimmel.
Thanks, Steve. It's great. It's a lot different on this side of the table. I don't know how you do it.
I mean, you know, it's very different on your side of the table as well. These are some big shoes to fill.
Well, thank you.
Well, guys, I hope that you enjoy this. I know I'm no Jeff Kimmel, but I'm going to do my best today. So let's just kick things right off. Jeff, I mean, I've known you for quite some time, the longest of anybody here in the company. I knew us both when we were more handsome, much younger, skinnier. But, you know, here we are. So always a pleasure to talk with you. So I want the people to get to know Jeff Kimmel, the person, rather than Jeff Kimmel, the interviewer.
All right.
So, Jeff, really quick, tell us what you do here at LSEO and how that helps our clients.
Sure. So I'm the Vice President of Sales and Marketing. So I look at it as twofold. So the marketing side of it is trying to get people to come to the table. So you want them to come to the table and see what's there. And then the sales side of them is actually getting them to eat. So the idea is to make people aware of where they are within their digital marketing strategies, whether they're starting out or looking to make a change, and letting them know how we can help them. And then helping them through that process, getting them, into the strategy that they need, that their business needs, and then, walking them through onboarding and moving forward and helping them grow their business. So I'm out trying to help customers find us as much as we're trying to find customers.
Perfect. Well, I got to say you're doing a great job. I know that the business has grown significantly since you came on board, so kudos to you. So the next thing here then is, again, I know you. We've talked a lot over the years, but give us a little brief summary of your resume, your past, and things like, well, what did you do before LSEO?
Sure. So my first professional job was a lifeguard. Fantastic job. It was in the summer, but I got a good tan, got to spin the whistle, tell kids to stop running. Never had to help anybody from drowning or anything like that, but, stop them from pushing people in the pool. Graduated from that into Blimpie subs and salads. Yes, so Kyle and Riley might know this because they grew up in the same county as I. There's a Unimart in Frackville where I helped make subs for a period of time. That was in my college years. And then when I graduated college, I started working for internet service providers. It was MindSpring and Earthlink. And in that role, I was in the training department. Whether it was delivering training, developing training, or helping our outsourced vendors deliver training kind of stuff. Left there and joined Network Solutions, originally as a training manager. Network Solutions was a domain registrar initially, but then they started web hosting, email. And that's where we met.
Lucky me.
Yeah, lucky me. Moved from being in training into operations and got into running the call center there. Web.com had acquired Network Solutions, and we grew. We had a large call center in Hazleton here that I ran for many years, and then ultimately came here to LSEO. So I always think of it, besides the awesome career of lifeguard and Blimpies. But once I graduated colleges, I helped people get connected online. Then I helped them create a presence with web hosting. And now, hopefully, I'm helping them get found online.
So all I'm thinking about through all of that, and impressive resume, I knew about the Frackville job, the sub shop.
Okay.
Yes, you had shared that with me before. I obviously knew about your previous positions and the one you have now. But all I'm thinking about is you up on the lifeguard, tower or the big tall chair. Mm-hmm. And I'm just wondering, I think back to, the movies and sitcoms and whatnot. Were you the lifeguard that just had the big white, sun-tanned nose?
Yes, I did not wear the white stuff on my nose, but I will tell you this, and this is kind of embarrassing, but, this is what the show's about. I cut my hair short and I put lines in it, and then I put colored sunblock in my lines sometimes.
That sounds so WWF. That's awesome.
So
I don't know. I think that this is one of those times where we need the box to pop up, yes or no. Should Jeff do that when he's the host again?
right. That was a lot of fun.
The wife and kids might not like me for that, but this show's about the people.
Right. Exactly.
All right. So I know that, so that's great. So tell us, how did you get into, we'll call it the internet? Where'd you go to college and what did you major in?
Sure. So I went to Lebanon Valley College. Initially, I went there for computer science. I actually, I shouldn't say that. I went to Lebanon Valley College pre-med. Little known fact there. When I started, I wanted to be a pediatrician. But after orientation, I switched to computer science because I realized that might not have been the path for me. I wasn't sure how much I was going to get into biology and all that kind of stuff. So I switched to computer science and was going to be a programmer. I really wanted to write. I wanted to do animation through computer graphics was my goal, but I couldn't, as I always say, get the ball to bounce. I got the ball. I made a ball appear, but I could never get it to bounce. So then I got into a minor of management. But that's what led me into the internet was, working in computer science and then connecting on with MindSpring. It was right after I graduated, I started working for them as a call center agent. But then while I was at web.com, in my operations role and leadership, then I went to Misericordia, and I got my master's at Misericordia. I chose that because I didn't really want to do online learning, and I wanted to be able to go to class as much as possible, and that was like on the ride home. So that was perfect for night classes. So yeah, Lebanon Valley College and then Misericordia. So,
all right. So let me turn this over because the research team has gotten me a couple of facts here, and I know the last time we were on here, the research team was a little shaky, but that was international. So I'm confident in the research this week. So what I found out here was you're in the NCAA Hall of Fame?
That's correct. Yes, I am.
Can you elaborate on that? Because the last time, we were in the opposite seats, but the last time I knew about your athletic prowess, it was you were the fastest guy, so you batted ninth, and you played right field because you had the strongest arm. Yeah. So I'm assuming baseball?
No, it actually was basketball.
Wow.
So while I was in Lebanon Valley College, our basketball team won the national championship and for Division III. So they're national champions. It was pretty awesome to be a part of. And because of that, the entire team was inducted into the Hall of Fame. So it's like a team induction, not so much just Jeff Kimmel for his efforts. It was just a team induction.
Look at this. Dual sport guy.
I actually even ran track there. I didn't make the Hall of Fame for track, but I ran track at Lebanon Valley College too.
So what events?
High jump.
High jump?
Yeah.
How high can you jump?
I high jumped. My highest was 6 foot.
Can you dunk?
No. My hands are too small.
What about like a tennis ball or something?
I could dunk a tennis ball. I could probably dunk a volleyball back in the day. But I could never dunk a basketball. I could grab the rim, I could hang on it, but I couldn't palm the ball.
Right. So do you think you could dunk now?
No. I know I can't.
All right. So, Jeff Kimmel, hot commodity. I know, obviously I was at Web, so I know some of the changes in leadership and the company that it went through. You could have gone anywhere, man. Master's degree, Hall of Famer. But instead, you came here. What led you to LSEO?
So a couple of things. One was obviously Chris Jones. So Chris and I were on a couple of board of directors together. I've always been, following what he was doing throughout his career and interested in everything that he touched and kind of turned to gold. So I was really enamored with what he was doing. Then you coming here, I was really jealous when I was still at Web and I saw that you initially were the director of client services. And I was like, man, he's lucky. I wanted to work for LSEO at the time and I was jealous of that. And the other piece of it, digital marketing, when I joined, you could see my progression, internet to hosting to now digital marketing. And I think with the way the world's going, with the pandemic, all that kind of stuff, everybody needs digital marketing. And I wanted to be part of the latest craze and trend and stuff. So that interest in industry was very important. And then the agency life. So every company I worked for was, a corporate-based company, publicly traded. Most of them were publicly traded, just big companies. And there's a lot to be said for working for a big company. There's
Right.
more benefits. There's more organization kind of stuff. But what you don't get in a big corporation sometimes, I'll say, that you get in an agency is like everybody is like a family working together. You know everybody here. There's no other office. We're all together and we're all working towards a common goal. We're all pulling for each other. So I really wanted that atmosphere. So all of that combined led me here.
Well, we're lucky to have you. I know that knowing you and you being, my superior in previous places, it molded me a lot into some of the things that, even though we were in a large organization, you never took yourself too serious, always tried to have as much fun as we could in those other positions, especially, there's limited fun you can have in those types of places because it's always, hey, the phone rings, someone has to answer it. There's support that needs to be needed. But you always did a great job of that, whether it was, dressing up for Halloween or St. Patrick's Day with Seamus on your shoulder. So I was super glad to know you and then make that transition because I brought a lot of those things that you had done from, let's say, a culture perspective to the LSEO organization in the capacity I could. Obviously, it's everybody here has a voice, and it's not like working for a 3,000 person organization where, the voices kind of get faded.
Right.
So with that being said, what's your favorite thing about working here?
Wow.
Especially coming from a large org to the smaller org.
Yeah, and I think it really is that, I'll say, camaraderie. You know what I mean? Like, again, knowing everybody here and, interacting with them on a regular basis. Everybody's willing to help out. Everybody's going towards the same goal. I know I'm kind of repeating on what drew me here, but that's really what I like about working here is like we're all going after the same goal. And, we really want to, help our customers grow online. And, when you need help, you can reach out to somebody. They're going to help you even, they're busy, that kind of stuff. So I think that's really the thing I like most.
The people upstairs would say that he's lying and it's the peanut butter pretzels. Caught him in there this morning, elbow deep. He did have a glove on, though. Sanitation is, cleanliness is next to godliness in Jeff Kimmel's eyes.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I do like the peanut butter pretzels. They're a nice little treat in the afternoon for me. Maybe too much of a treat, but
that's okay. So let's give you back the operations hat. Only it's the one above me. Let's give you the CEO hat for a minute.
Okay.
And you get to poof and you make something happen. So what's one thing that you would change here? And don't say that you would have more dogs in the office. No.
No, I narrowed it down to two.
Yeah, and dogs was one, so go to the other.
No, okay. So the first one, the original one I thought of was is the fact that when I started here, I know we were, going through everything that was going on in the world today. But ultimately, if you haven't been to the building, you would know we have the 5th floor now, but it's kind of separated, right? And originally when I came, everybody was on one side. But as you mentioned, we've grown, and now we're taking up both sides of the building. It would be awesome if we could all sit together somehow, some way. And I know we're keeping distance and stuff like that, and we're going to continue to grow. I mean, eventually we want to take up more and more floors.
Yeah, all of them.
Yeah, but I wish that we could all be together. You know what I mean? I think that would create a little bit more fun atmosphere. But, when you want to grow, that's not really going to happen. So it's my other maybe wish I would throw out, and I'm probably going to steal Kyle's if he ever gets invited on, is put a gym in. And a shower. Yeah, I always have to have a shower with a gym. It's part of the reason we couldn't do it at my previous work. Everybody always wanted a gym. But I mean, whether I would use the gym or not, I don't know. But
I'd like to have the option.
Right. I think that would be great to have a little gym here.
Okay. So. It's funny. I could see Kyle saying that. So, all right. So tell us a little bit then about Jeff Kimmel, the man. Like, what do you do for fun? I should say, tell the people, because again, I've gotten to know you over the years. So tell us about some of your hobbies.
This is a funny question now because like Adam, like a lot of them. Originally, when I was asked this question, it was I golf and I ski. I actually have golf clubs and I own skis, but I don't really do that much anymore. I like to say that I do, but I don't.
Yeah, kids came along.
Right. I have 3 kids.
Right.
That's really a large majority of what I do is, family oriented, taking them to school, lunches. My son's 2 years old and he just wants to play all the time, which is great because I like to play too.
Right.
But outside of family, I've changed it to 3 things that I have a YouTube channel. A little self-promotion there, but I like to watch movies.
Well, hold on. So before you get into what's on it, why don't you tell them the name of it? I mean, if you're going to self-promote, do it the right way. You are the guy who's in charge of getting people to our website. We'll get them to yours, too.
All right. Well, the website, it's kimmelsirishpub.com.
We'll have to get the banner to pop up.
Right. There'll be a link in the comments now. But it's really the YouTube, the website's just because I worked for a web company. So I was like, I'll build a website to it. But really, it's a YouTube channel that's dedicated to movie reviews. And I would say beer and whiskey reviews is what they're called. But really, I taste them and I tell you what I taste. It's not really a review. You know what I mean? I don't think I'm no connoisseur or anything like that. It's like, hey, this one tastes good.
Right.
You're like, I don't like this one. So, and in fact, and I get my family involved. My wife and I did a beer review. So we've done multiple, but we just did one last night. So that'll be up there. And the third part of it is fantasy football. So I love fantasy football. And so somebody gave me the idea at some point that you should create, a business or something around the things that you love. So I created this YouTube channel around movie reviews, beer and whiskey, and fantasy football. So once the kids go to bed, that's what I turn into, making my videos.
All right. So what was the beer that you just did last night?
I forget now. But it was a sour.
Okay.
A friend gave it to us. I have to look it up. I honestly, that's funny. And this is how bad it is. I mean, Adam this morning was like, what movie did you watch? And I was like, I have to look. I forget. You know what I mean? So I always forget what kind of beer. But I can't remember right now.
So how long have you been doing this? How long has Kimmel's Irish Pub been a thing?
I think a little over 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's dedication.
3 years, yeah. It's just fun. And it's I don't have that many followers, so subscribe whatever camera I'm looking at. I'm not used to having multiple cameras, you know what I mean? But it's really, and honestly, I got into it. I know we're going to get into this, but you read a lot and how to better yourself so that you can speak to other people when they say start a channel like that, like a YouTube channel, so that you're constantly speaking and you'll get better. Yeah. And so that's really why I did it. And then there are things I like to do. So I film myself doing it.
All right. So now I've got to, go off script here a little bit. All right. So if you're down in the movie room, right? What's and you could have any beer there. What's your choice elixir?
Oh, any beer. So
or whiskey. I'll allow that.
Or whiskey. Phew, you put me on the spot for that one.
The people need to know,
Right.
and I'm here to ask the tough questions.
Favorite beer. So I am a big fan of single cut. So I like anything that they have, and it would probably be one of those. I don't know which one I would choose out of the list, but I think that one, and I still don't remember the name of the one you gave me, the green one from Treehouse. Or from
Tired Hands. That was the double dry hopped Galaxy milkshake.
I would like to have that one.
I might be able to make that happen. I think
right.
I still have one or two, but they're at home because that's where they needed to be.
Right.
That's why I still have one or two.
That's a really good beer.
So, all right, cool. So the next thing we'd like to know, I mean, you are the man who dresses up for Halloween, for Tuesdays. If the mood needs to know, and it's great that you have your finger on the pulse often. So let's say that you don't have to dress up any longer, Jeff. I'm giving you the ability to be a real life superhero. What would your power be?
So, I've given this a lot of thought because I happen to know the questions. But no, actually, my family and I talk about it all the time. It would be, what is it? Now I forgot the name of it. Transportability.
Okay.
So where you can transport yourself to anywhere. I'm not saying that right. I can't believe it. But
isn't that telepath?
Teleportation.
Instead of telepathy.
Right.
Yeah, there we go.
Teleportation. There we go. I'd like to be able to teleport. And, there's a lot of good superpowers you can have, flying. But we live in Pennsylvania. Is it cold when you fly? You know what I mean? Would that be fun?
I think so.
Yeah, so then maybe that's not if I'm going to continue to live in Pennsylvania, I don't want to fly in cold weather.
But if you could fly to anywhere. It doesn't have to be cold.
Right, but I got to come home.
Home is where the heart is, Jeff.
True. But I really came up with teleportation because, you have a family and you take them everywhere with you. I'll give you an example. I go to my sister's for Thanksgiving at like noon, and she makes a great Thanksgiving. Go there and you eat all the food. And now I have to drive an hour home with the entire family. They're all sleeping, and I'm driving with, tryptophan or whatever that's called.
Tryptophan, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And it's like, if I could just teleport home and be there already, I wouldn't have to go through this entire ride. So that would be awesome.
So what you're saying, though, well, let me clear this up.
Sure.
Are you trying to then go from the driver's seat to you're at home? Because who's going to steer? Or you can teleport your automobile with your family safely in it to the driveway.
I would want to teleport the entire family. I probably wouldn't take my car there. I would teleport there.
Well, because that's what I was thinking as well. Okay, so you already caught on to my next
Right.
question. I was going to say, well, then why the heck did you drive there, Jeff? You've got this ability. Right. But here's what I don't know about teleportation, right? I know about it from like Star Trek and stuff. Beat me up, Scotty, which is awesome. But
I'm giving it all she got.
But what is the speed of teleportation? Because, for all you know, it could be, well, I guess it's your superpower. You can make it as fast as you want, right?
Right.
Because if not, it could be one of those things where your sister's house is an hour away, but what if it took 2 hours to teleport? That'd be bogus.
Right. I'd be wasting an hour of my life.
Right. That you could be doing a beer review or movie review.
Right. Or sleeping.
Off the tryptophan.
Right.
Or playing with your 2-year-old because you both like to play.
Exactly. But yeah, like teleporting would just be fantastic, I think. It would be.
So I've gotten to know you over the years, and I know that you've got a ton of skills, right? I know that you're a great right fielder who runs fast and has a strong arm. And I know that you know how to use video equipment above average,
Okay.
Well, heck, I couldn't do what you do. I could learn, but
right.
That's what a skill is, right? Something you learn. So what's another skill that you wish you had learned or that you wish you could just acquire?
I think it would be singing.
Singing?
Yeah, I would like to be able to sing.
I heard that you're a good singer.
You heard wrong. I am not. In Spanish class, when I was a junior in high school, which was like 4 or 5 years ago, my Spanish teacher, she had us all up singing some Spanish song or, some song in Spanish, whatever. She came over to me and she said, "I think you're tone deaf. Sit down." So I was like, oh, so the rest of the class, and I'm sitting in the seats watching them sing. So I've been told I can't sing.
No, see, that wasn't true. So the research team told me because they interviewed her, Miss Garcia, and they interviewed her, and they found out that she thought that you were so good that you could be a producer, which in her eyes was above the singers. But she didn't want to say that in front of the rest of the class. So she knew that you had tough skin and could call you out in a negative way rather than in a positive way because she was afraid that it might hurt the feelings of the other students.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yes. So what I'm saying is don't give up on your dreams, brother. From what I understood, you were a fantastic singer.
My dad was actually a good singer. He was in a band called The Other Side, lead singer. But I can't carry a tune. I can't hit the notes.
I think that we're going to have to do some sort of karaoke upstairs or something one day, or take an after work happy hour trip and get you up on the mic because I don't believe this, not for a minute, not even one bit. So I bet you are better than Will Ferrell in Step Brothers.
Oh, I don't know. He's pretty good.
but I think you're going to be better. So, and that's just my hunch. I mean, I would love to be proved wrong or right. So the next piece then, which I think is going to be great because the audience now knows a little bit more about you. So I want to ask a couple of your favorite things, right?
Okay.
So your favorite band or musician?
I know this is tough. I'm not going to say I listen to all genres of music, but I have I've narrowed it down when people ask me this question to answer it this way. No, I'm not even going to go into that much detail. Top 5.
Okay.
So top 5. And in no order, but I just got to count them out. So Journey, but with Steve Perry. Okay. I don't want anybody else. If he's not there, not my top 5. Okay. Bob Seger would be another one. And then Pearl Jam and Aerosmith. And then the new one into it is Chris Stapleton. Used to be OAR, but now it's Chris Stapleton. He has knocked them out of the top 5. So
I wonder how they felt about that.
I don't know if they know yet.
Well, they're going to see the podcast.
They are, I know.
I don't know what to say. You could have let me know ahead of time. I could have softened this blow. So anyway, you're the guy. You're the man of 1,000 movie reviews.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite movie?
I do. Yes. I grew up watching Star Wars, right? The whole first trilogy. And out of those movies, my favorite one is Return of the Jedi.
Really?
Yes. It was just hit at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you start like, oh, this is a cool story. And here's, Empire Strikes Back. It's like, oh, wow, here's Yoda and all that stuff. And then like it was like the summer leading into Return of the Jedi was coming out. And I was like at that perfect age where it's like, this is going to be awesome. And so that has always stuck with me as my favorite movie.
So what made you get into the movie review thing? And I know we're working backwards now, but we're allowed to ad-lib here.
Right.
It's a kid's show.
Well, like I said, I first wanted to create a YouTube channel to help improve myself.
But what made you choose the movie review part?
I had, when Netflix first came out, I had subscribed to the discs. Yep, I'd get 3 discs, a month, or you get 3 discs at one time. So I really got into watching movies at night, and just continued to, like I've now rated like crazy amounts of movies just from watching all of Netflix. And then once Netflix stopped sending the discs, I put all my ratings on IMDb, but I was constantly watching movies. And so I thought, well, I really enjoy doing it. So why don't I take, the part of me improving myself and apply it to something I like to do instead of starting something new. And so it's killing 2 birds with one stone.
Perfect. Yeah, I mean, it's easy to get up there and talk about something right? I mean, Instead of getting up there, and I don't know if you're much of a physics guy, but if you tried to, talk about splitting the atom, that's going to be a bit more difficult.
Right.
All right, so the people always tune in. They love to find out now more about the staff and the people that work behind the scenes. But we've got to remember, this is still a digital marketing company, digital marketing podcast. So you started off getting people connected online.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You moved into how people can put up a website or get a presence online. And now you're helping people get found online. So this is still a little bit new to you, the next frontier. What's one piece of, one tip or a piece of information that you've learned since taking that next jump into the internet, as we'll just call it?
So I think the biggest thing I've learned is, to summarize it, not to set it and forget it. So digital marketing, is something you have to constantly look at. And we have all the tools, so we look at it all the time. But you want to make sure that you're at least gaining more traffic as you go. Your keywords are improving and you're showing up. So I think a lot of companies, we do SEO, we're good, but they don't look at how they're performing. And there's opportunities out there to get that information for free. You know what I mean? Like, obviously we have that. I'm not trying to sell us, but there's other things out there that you can go in and see, how am I performing? Or you can ask somebody, and, and sure, you might, they might follow up and say, are you interested, kind of stuff. But I think it's so important for companies to continue to evaluate how their digital marketing is going and not just let it go by the wayside and say, hey, we're doing it, unless they're not interested in growing. Because if you're growing online, which is the way everything's going today, you're going to continue to grow as a company. And so I think that's important for them to continue to keep an eye on that kind of stuff.
Now, I don't know if you just saw me look into my phone here, but
I did.
I got a text from the audience.
Okay.
And the question is, because normally I'd wrap it up and, we'll do that in a minute, so you don't have to hear me sign off twice. But I got a text from the audience.
Oh, wow.
And they want to know, Jeff Maverick Kimmel.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
They wanted to know, is it Maverick Top Gun or Maverick Mel Gibson?
Maverick Top Gun.
All right.
Right. So, and it was close. So you were asking me what my favorite movie was, and Top Gun is right up there. I didn't want to do another thing. Oh, my top 5 movies are, you know what I mean? Top 5. That's really a cop-out. But Top Gun, I actually, when in high school, was going to go to the Air Force Academy. And I wanted to become a pilot. And so I really loved everything about that. And then I loved Top Gun and Maverick. And so I created my own nickname.
All right. Well, now the people know. So this is Steve Blackburn coming to you from Beyond Local, episode 47. And they're not going to let us buzz the tower, Maverick. So we're signing off.
All right. Thanks.